So we have some luck tonight due to the moon phases. Hopefully that will bode well for our continued monk run here. So here we go. Welcome. All right. I think I have everything set up here. So, one cool thing, we have the Oracle of Delphi bot here with us tonight. So, Finitely Craig has built this bot, so we can start to use this to ask questions to the Oracle and get some answers. It's in development, so it's only going to get better with time, but definitely very cool. Do something like exclamation point fire resistance, and we'll talk a little bit about what is fire resistance and how you might be able to get it. So yeah, very cool. So I need to sort of take a look at my character here and sort of figure out where I was at and what my next goals are. So we're missing a few key resistances. I think there are paths to getting some of them. So fire resistance and shock resistance are things we can get just through either being crowned or possibly through the correct corpse drops. Fire resistance. So we're still trying to maintain the vegetarian conduct as a monk. So fire resistance, I think red mold might be one of the only ways to get it. And shock resistance, I believe we can get through some of the puddings, and I'll have to double check in the wiki about that. Or we could just be crowned. So we've been camping this altar for a while. So our god is pretty happy with us, giving us things like spell books, which we also want. It'd be great to get some magic missile here. So right now we have sleep. Actually, I need to reread that book. Camping so long you need a tent. That's right. We've actually built a house, I think. We poured the foundation. We've dug out a basement. We're building the second floor. We've been camping that long. Magic missile will be great. We have jumping boots. I think that would make us really able to deal a lot more damage. I'm going to grab my sleep book and read it. Just noticing now that it's gone. No worries, Craig. Welcome, and sleep well. Pull request is very minor. It's not even worth your time. So the next one will be a little bigger and hopefully helpful. But that will probably be tomorrow, if not later. Where is my spellbook? There it is. All right, so we've read sleep, so we have that. I think it's important just in case there is a heavy melee creature that we can't deal with otherwise. Yeah, thanks, Craig. I got some work done with it and then decided there was a different direction I wanted to take it. Just a little more work, not much, but I'll get it your way when it's ready. However, it can help with the bot. I think it's a nice thing you're doing for the community. So we're XP level 10. So what I'm thinking about now is, at what point do we go and do Sokoban? As I've been saying, as I said the last time I streamed, the last 2 promising runs were ended in Sokoban by a soldier and a green elf with a wand of lightning and a wand of fire, respectively. So that's sort of why I would like to get fire and shock resistance first. It looks like brown pudding and gelatinous cubes are the 2 ways I can get shock resistance while maintaining my vegetarian conduct. And fire resistance looks like gray ooze, red mold, or again, gelatinous cube would be the way to get that. So it's either that or we get crowned. I think I'm going to continue to camp the altar for a little while. I believe, yeah, we can pray. The other thing which I talked about doing last time and haven't been doing yet is starting to train up my spell schools. So in particular, I think the divination school is going to be useful long term. So we have a level 2 spell, Detect Food, which we can cast pretty well. So casting that, particularly in cases like now when we can safely pray, makes sense. So, we can start to train up that divination spell for things like clairvoyance and magic mapping. Although I think we decided magic mapping is probably beyond my capability of casting, even if I get basic level divination. So let's just cast some Detect Food. We have the power. It's interesting. You can actually detect food that's inside of chests, which is cool. I guess also in Monster's inventory. So each time we cast it uses 10 power, so we can cast it 5 times before we run out of power. And then I guess we just wait. And there's a unicorn. Unicorns they hit hard. I think with 84 hit points, we're not in immediate danger from dying, but we definitely have had issues. Fortunately, I think because we're invisible, we can line up with them. So now we can do the thing where we wield Mjolnir and we throw Mjolnir at them until they die. It seems pretty good. Because normally, you really can't line up with them. They stay a knight's move away from you. So we'll be stressed while we're offering this unicorn, but it's going to make our god pretty happy. This is just a shrieker. We already have poison resistance, and I believe that's all that shriekers provide you with. Double check, but yep, just poison resistance. So we'll go ahead and offer that. Picked up a runed spear. Monks can actually use spears, but we have a pretty good thrown weapon as is with Mjolnir here, so I think we're just gonna put that away. The unicorn horn I'm gonna put into my possibly useful box here, just to polypile it into a magic marker. And we'll keep waiting for a while. So here comes a green elf. Just be careful with elves and things that might have wands. It's just shooting arrows at us, so no big deal. But certainly still have a little bit of PTSD from the last time we ran into a green elf. Didn't end so well. Let's check out this helmet. Might as well see if we can get something a little better than what we already are wearing. Oh, just another +0. So put everything away. All right, and keep waiting here. This is a panther. Yeah. Let the panther come up to us here. The other thing I noticed from last time is I was just doing checking the sound out, and I cleared a bunch of potions, including a potion of speed, which I think was a mistake. So it turns out that the potion of speed is our smoky potion. So I think we want to collect those and bless them and see if we can get a lucky wish out of it. So I believe there's about a 7 or 8% chance of getting a wish from a blessed smoky potion. So definitely worth keeping and giving that a try. Rope Golem is not such a big deal. Definitely has done a lot of damage to us in the past, but it fell pretty easily there. So peaceful large cat. So I read about monster spawning. It looks like the spawn rate is not at all related to the number of creatures that are on your level. So my paranoia about having to clear out all the peaceful creatures on the level is probably unfounded. With that said, I may still clear them out because they can be a little annoying and get in your way. Large cats, no pushover though. They can deal a lot of damage. Be a little careful about not taking a bunch of damage being bit by a large cat. And, probably actually a little tougher than the centaur. Particularly when the centaur... do we want to do extreme difficulty? Try. Overtaxed. Quasi drinks a potion of speed, unfortunately. Ouch. Wow. Okay. So when you're overtaxed like that, creatures get a whole lot of attacks against you. So we took quite a bit of damage just from that Quasit. Be careful about that in the future. It's not as bad as being paralyzed, but certainly the Quasit getting probably about half a dozen attacks on us without us being able to retaliate is a problem. It's sort of the problem with peaceful creatures and also being invisible. Large creatures like that, it's very hard to get them to step onto the altar. Oh, we're stunned by the orc shaman. We can try and cure that with our horn, unicorn horn. This must be an elf mummy. Yeah. Don't need another mummy wrapping. Oh, and we're caught by a blacklight. So we will use our unicorn horn to get rid of that. I believe the alignment penalty is pretty significant for killing an aligned unicorn. I mean, I think it's still, we could still recover from it. Come on over here, Panther. So what are all these things? Urukai. Not such a big deal with poison resistance. They can be very dangerous if you don't have that. Although the arrows themselves are doing a reasonable amount of damage. Yeah, so I think we're gonna have to, we can't camp the altar here. We need to go out there and deal with them. You're about half health. See how many of these corpses we can offer. So we got another artifact, got Dragonbane, which is pretty much worthless. Might sell it. And I believe that increases our prayer timeout. I think it was Luxy Dream was saying last time that one of the reasons why our prayer timeout is so long is it's increased every time you are granted an artifact. So take a look at how much food we actually have here. So if like one food ration on hand. Let's see if we can pick up this corpse and offer it. Yes, we're down to 3 food rations. So that's the other problem. We're at the point now where we are maybe going to run out of food quicker. I say that, and then I remember that we have a ring of slow digestion, which we picked up last time, so I think we're actually totally fine with food. Even with a slower prayer time out, we should be fine for food. The only, I believe the only nutrition we're using right now is the nutrition loss from the ring itself. It's like 5% of our normal rate. Be off on that math. Get rid of a bunch of this stuff. A lizard. Yep. There's a piercer over there. There's a leprechaun over there. Go do a little bit of a level cleanup here. See if we can find a red mold or anything good like that. This is where the piercer is. And then the leprechaun's over here. So we can actually look up on the, using the oracle here, the message, you are lucky. Let's see, full moon tonight. Let's try that. No, doesn't know that one. But the full moon tonight, your base luck is increased by 1. Were creatures will usually be in their animal form. Dogs will howl when chatted to. You have a chance of not being able to tame dogs at night. Failed attempts will still pacify them. So there's a brown mold. Already have cold resistance though. So that's not the one I'm looking for. Oh look, there's a green mold in a pit. Here comes some green elves. Bring them a little closer. And there's another, was it a white unicorn? So they do, like, yeah. Like this is kind of too much damage. I'm going to attack it from range. Got it. Reconciliation. Yeah, so that's great. Unicorns will greatly reduce your prayer timeout. So we're able to pray again. There's the green elf. So we can check out this leather helm again. No reason not to. Still +0 though. And put away this +0 leather helm. I think here comes the other green elf. Yep. And we'll wait for a minute here. Actually, our power is 50, so let's go ahead and continue practicing our divination. More confident, okay. So we actually already are up to basic. The question is, should I waste or spend a skill level in hammer just for throwing Mjolnir? I think probably not. I think I save them for my spell schools. I seem to be hitting fairly well with thrown Mjolnir. I'm checking all these nooks and crannies, see if there's any molds or puddings or anything. The other thing I can do is start to dig out the level a little bit, just make it easier for creatures to find their way here. If you watched my last ascension run, I had I found an altar, I think on like level 1 or 2 or something, and by the end of it I had dug out like the entire level pretty much. Sometimes I'll do that. If you're camping it long enough and there are, particularly if you're lawful, so that was a lawful Valkyrie, Dwarvish Valkyrie, so you end up with dwarves who come in and they dig out the level for you. Just an ape. Not as bad as a owlbear, I don't believe. Here comes probably another ape. They often spawn in groups. Yep. It's not going to help me out here and step onto my altar. Oh, there it goes. Just took some patience. We got a new potion we don't know, so we can probably just dip test this potion. Look at the ones we've already identified. So we know polymorph. Let me actually clean my discoveries list a little bit here. Got some. Let's see here. Let me do this. So I just need to ban someone quick. Spam. I think this is a bot account. Spam. I think this is a bot account. Sorry. You're getting some echo there. Okay. I had to go to my channel. I couldn't figure out how to do it in the app here. It's still in beta, so I think maybe that's something they are still working on. All right. Just going to clean up my discoveries list here while I was looking at it. So we have polymorph. We know that one. And what else? Fruit juice. We identified that. And sickness, we know that one as well. So it's pretty safe to dip our unicorn hornet in it. I guess we'll do the thing where we'll call it clears first. Then we'll dip our unicorn horn into it. It doesn't clear, so at that point you can you drink it? So there's always do we know paralysis? We don't know paralysis, so that is an issue because it doesn't clear and can cause you big issues. Do we have a key? Yes, we do. So what we can do is we can actually lock ourselves in this closet. It's not like 100% foolproof, but we can drink it. Okay, so that was, that's see invisible then. So in our discoveries list, we can name it. So there's a cyan potion. see invisible. I'll get out of the closet. And what's this up here? Something we don't know. Etten zombie. Okay. All right. Here's just a yellow mold. I just think it's well worth it to clear the level from time to time, because things that are sessile, that don't move, will spawn, and you want to check for them because they also tend to be the things that provide you with the intrinsics you're looking for. What's this? Just a lizard. It's interesting that a lizard is one of the things that Warning thinks is dangerous. It's only a 1, but I wonder if floating eyes show up with Warning, and if they don't, why not? Definitely the most dangerous thing that is not terribly powerful, just will end your run. Red mold, unfortunately, didn't drop a corpse, so... And here's a floating eye. So actually, they don't... No warning. That's very cruel. You don't get a warning before you run into a floating eye. I'm sure that's by design. The devs are cruel like that. Wait some. So our power is full. So is there other schools we want to increase? Let's take a look at enchantment and see if there are spells in that school which we really we want to increase our spellcasting ability for. So looking at it, I mean, there's Charm Monster, which is interesting. Cause Fear is also quite good. And then Slow Monster and Confused Monster are not very good. Yeah, so I think probably getting up to basic level in enchantment is worth it. We are sleep resistant, so just zapping our sleep spell around should be fine. And it takes only 5 power, so we'll be able to cast it 10 times every time we're up to full power. You know, maybe I should save 15 or 10 power just in case we actually need our sleep spell. Yeah, I think we should save a little bit. It is one of our escape spells. Here comes the paper golem. Magic marker would be great. Oh, and the other thing is this potion of full healing. So one thing which I did not realize, I was watching one of Nethack's streams, is that if you drink a potion of full healing, you get, if it's blessed, I think you get like D8 extra hit points. If it's uncursed, I think you get D4 extra hit points, something like that. So if you're full up, it can increase your maximum hit points. So it's possible that I'm meant to bless and just drink that potion of full healing for that purpose. We're a little bit low on holy water. We've got 1 plus 3 potions of water. I should remember next time I pray to bless those 3, but it still only leaves us with 4. So I think I'll hold off on that for now. What's this? What kind of dog is this? Let's do the chat. We'll chat with it. The dog howls because it's a full moon. Just a dog. Feel bad. I'm going to clean the level up a little bit though. Here comes something else we're worried about. Another ape, I think. No, this is an owlbear. So we'll be a little careful. We don't want to get grabbed. So we're going to wield our Mjolnir and throw it. Throw some darts. There's an unidentified scroll. So restrained, not as bad as overtaxed. Fortunately, only a couple steps from the altar. So we could price ID this scroll. Let's see what scrolls we've not yet identified. Quite a few, actually. So which ones of the bad ones have we not identified? Have we identified amnesia? We've not identified amnesia, so that's one of the worst ones. And fire, it's not terrible, but can destroy your potions and scrolls in your inventory if you're not ready for it. So I think we price ID it just to make sure it's not in the class of scrolls that could be amnesia. Whoa, okay. Just a bunch of Urukai just spawned. So, yeah, we don't want them to be able to shoot us with arrows, but I think we'll be fine. So I wonder if poisoned arrows do additional damage even if you're poison resistant. I know if you dip your arrows in a potion of sickness, it does additional damage in addition to the occasional insta-death effect. And I wonder if that's the case even if you're immune to poison. Another scroll we can identify. Actually, fewer corpses have been dropped than I expect. Start cleaning up the piles of things here. It's probably a shortcut for selecting everything on a page. Just trying a couple things here, but don't know what it is. It's a blessed scroll. We fill up on power again, so let's continue to practice our sleep spell here. Cursed dagger. Just more urukai. And another scroll, we don't know what it is, so I think we're at the point now where there's enough to price ID. We should probably head down to the shop. Another blessed scroll. These are 3 scrolls we can price ID. So let's do a quick look around the level here, and then we'll head down to the shop, really up to the shop. There's a nymph over here, so I think we'll throw Molnir at it. Some darts too. And there's another red mold, so potentially. Oh, uranium wand. Interesting. Let's see if this red mold drops a corpse. Does 4 damage, not too bad. Yep, there's a corpse. See if we get lucky. Nope. No fire resistance from this corpse. Let's ID this wand. And the food ration is nice too. All right, let's engrave test it. Wand of Great Monster. That's interesting. So if you reverse genocide things, they don't appear with items. But if you use one to create monster, they do. I think it's less exploitable because you can't pick what you're summoning. My cat has heard me talking and has decided to join us. The dogs get the first floor during the day, and then they go upstairs and she gets to come down at night, so she can spend some time with us. She's going to rub against the microphone. You're probably hearing that. I could probably move it up a little bit anyway. Let's get out of the way here. So wand to create monster is not very useful. I mean, you could say it's kind of a niche case if you need to know whether you can safely pray or not in a pinch. You could use a wand to create monster to create a creature to potentially sacrifice on the altar. But yeah, I think we're just gonna either sell it or stash it. Maybe just stash it because you don't want creatures to walk out with it and start zapping it. All right, let's head down to the shop. Our wisdom went up again. All right, so we got to drop our pickaxe, take off our robe, and put on the mummy wrapping. And then we can price ID these things. So 23 gold. It's got to be light, right? It's one of those low price ones that's not identify. Charisma is 8. Selling. Oh no, sorry, that's actually enchant weapon. Okay. So yeah, so enchant weapon, I mean, we can enchant Molnir. Trying to think, as a monk, maybe like a stack of spears or something would be good. Something reusable that we can get to at least basic weapon level at. Let's see what this one is. 75. Okay, so that's create monster, taming, amnesia, or earth. So what do we already know? From that list, we know create monster. I don't think we know any of the others. So it could be taming, amnesia, or earth. Last one is 19. So I guess this is the Scroll of Light, probably. Yeah, 19 is a Scroll of Light. All right, I think that's it. The create monster wand, I think we just stash. You'll read the light spell. Read actually in the hallway up here. And the other ones we can just put in our stash here. Although, maybe I just read the enchant weapon scroll on Molnir. Yeah, we have 18 scrolls of paper. It's probably enough for now. To wield Molnir, can read it. Now it's +2. All right, full of energy. I think we continue practicing our divination spells, or sorry, enchantment spells. And that should do it. So enchantment is up to basic. So I think that's the max we can get in divination, and the max we can get in enchantment. It'd be nice to get some more spell books. Yeah, so we can get up to expert in healing, but I just don't know if that's really useful. I mean, extra healing might be useful, but that's level 3. I feel like with our robe, we're casting level 3 spells fairly well already. Yeah, so like Cure Sickness is already 0% chance to fail. So if we did get extra healing, we wouldn't need to actually increase our healing skill at all. And then restorability is just not very useful when you have a unicorn horn. So I'm not going to try and enhance my healing skill at this point. And that's all we have for spells currently. Although our god has been giving us spell books from time to time, so hopefully we get something like Magic Missile. Something we can't see. It's a violet fungus. It's getting more luck. So a luck stone in the bottom of the mines would be great. For that, you really want magic resistance because there's likely to be polymorph traps on the way down. I mean, reflection, of course, is important too for the creatures wielding wands problem. You can be extra careful. We have automatic searching already. So spending a turn or two searching just to make sure you're not stepping into a polymorph trap is one thing you can do. We could also try and get either a ring of polymorph control or an amulet of unchanging. So basically, the worst thing that happens is you turn into something that tears your robe and your Hawaiian shirt. Our Hawaiian shirt is not currently enchanted, so before we go anywhere where there may be polymorph traps, we should almost certainly take that off. It's not giving us anything right now, and there's no reason to risk it. There's a black light. What else we have here? So floating eyes actually do show up when you have telepathy. So they're intelligent. I mean, they have brains. It's one way to be a little bit careful about them is to use the telepathy that you gain from them, just to make sure that you're not walking around when there's one that might paralyze you. So now we're food positive from where we were when we started this stream. So the ring of slow digestion is doing work. And creatures are bringing us food drops. Is that a ape or a owlbear? It's an owlbear, so be a little careful. Don't want to get grabbed. We have a +2 Molnir now to throw at it. Killed it with one hit. It's going to be difficult to carry. Strained. And that's a ghoul. I think again we want to throw Molnir at it, just so we don't get paralyzed. And then a bunch of Urukai appear again. Yeah, monsters with weapons are no joke. We would definitely be careful. Taking 20 points of damage off in a single turn. Yeah, so we're down at half health just from that group of Urukai. This is really why we need better AC. All this junk away. Again, I think there's got to be a way to select everything on a page, but I don't know what the key command is. If anyone knows, you can let me know. An ornamental cope. So that is one of the magical robes. It might be difficult to see what it is, just because if it's invisibility, it's not going to do anything. So it could be magic resistance, or it could be invisibility. Ornamental cope. It's one of the randomized ones. So it's not cloak of protection because that auto-identifies. It's not an elven cloak. So it could be cloak of magic resistance. It could be cloak of invisibility. It could be an oilskin cloak. Oh no, that's actually always a slippery cloak. Yeah, so basically we're down to magic resistance or invisibility. If we're magic resistance, we'd be very lucky. And I think that would be something we would actually wear over the robe, even though the robe is so good for our spell casting. But the magic resistance would be worthwhile. So I think we actually identify that. Just looking at the cost here. Yeah, invisibility and magic resistance are both the same cost, so we're really unable to tell the difference at this point. I think it's worth a scroll of identify. So we'll take out the scroll of identify and anything else we have left that we want to identify positively. So something that's called taming, amnesia, or earth, we can get that out. Get a 1 scroll of identify. Let's get our scrolls of water, just so we don't forget to pray with them on the altar. And that should be it. So I'll read it, and most importantly, we need to identify this ornamental cope, and it is magic resistance. So that Hobbit brought us one of the real key items that we need right off the bat here. So losing the robe is tough in terms of our spellcasting is going to go way down. I think the Gauntlets of Power may be the issue there. We can try without the Gauntlets of Power on. But the magic resistance is really key, and there's very few ways for us to get it other than a Cloak of Magic Resistance. When we get our quest artifact, then we put the robe back on. But until then, I think the magic resistance may be more important than being able to cast, say, sleep. It's close, but magic resistance really does a lot for us. What else do we identify here? This scroll, which is amnesia. You can ID a cloak automatically just by putting it on. Welcome, Shadow Rider. So certain cloaks do ID. So like their robe, cloak of protection will ID when you put it on. Displacement will ID, but invisibility will ID, except for the fact that we already have permanent invisibility. So yeah, but in our case where we have permanent invisibility, the cloak could have been magic resistance or invisibility. We didn't have any way of telling which was which because it wouldn't change our state either way. Yeah, otherwise you're right. Like if we didn't have permanent invisibility, then we would have been able to tell that it was magic resistance because it would have given us no message. Yeah, that's why I used a scroll though, because I wasn't sure if it was invisibility or magic resistance. So that's a bit of luck. I mean, I'm just going to see. So right now we have a really high fail. If we take off the Gauntlets of Power, Our fail percentages are still pretty bad. What else are we wearing that could be contributing to that? Nothing really. We're not wielding anything. Our intelligence is 10, so I think that's sort of the issue right now. If we had higher intelligence, we probably could cast these spells without the robe on. I think you wear the magic resistance. I think you maybe stash the robe for now and come back and get it later after you get your quest artifact, which gives you magic resistance. So magic resistance protects against death magic, so like a zapped wand of death, polymorph traps, damage from magic missile wands, or force bolt, which could definitely happen before we get reflection. The effect of paralyze and stun monster spells is reduced to 1 turn. Yeah, so, I mean, the big ones there are, I think, magic missile and striking wands, which we could definitely find in Sokoban, and polymorph traps and the wand of death. Everything else we really need reflection for. Or we need to have intrinsic resistances to the wands. Would the Cloak of Magic resistance mean we could, say, try and go to the bottom of the mines and grab the Luckstone? Because my primary concern there was just the polymorph traps. You will run into creatures with wands from time to time in the mines, and reflection's good for that. We don't have a light source either, so that's the other thing about the mines that would be annoying. So I don't know if it changes our plan or not. Do we have a lamp or anything in our box? I don't think we do. No, we just haven't found a lamp yet. Not even an oil lamp or a brass lantern. Sorry about the background noise there. Definitely is I was not expecting to get magic resistance, particularly from a random drop. And it's really going to help us get to the quest. Not having to worry about polymorph is huge. It's really just a reflection, and we're not even guaranteed to get it in Sokoban. So, if we end up getting the bag of holding, I mean, which is nice, but we really want that amulet of reflection. The other thing you could do is decide if you're wearing a Cloak of Magic resistance anyway, maybe you just wield a shield of reflection, and it's going to tank your ability to cast spells, but it's not like wearing body armor, so you'll still be able to attack. Super important for a monk. Yeah. Yeah, we're getting all these luck ups from our just praying on the altar. Yeah. It's like a chameleon, you know, randomly turning into a black dragon in the mines, you know, obviously was a concern. It's rare, but it happens. What are you going to do? And that could happen anywhere. Potion of object detection. Let's have to decide whether we're going to try and collect them to find vaults. It's cursed anyway, so I think we just blanket. Turn to holy water. So do we just go down to the mines now? I really would like some sort of a source of light. There is guaranteed to be a lighting shop in Mine Town, assuming we get Mine Town. I think if we're careful, we can make our way down to Mine Town. And from there, we can decide whether we want to push on to the Mine's End. All right, so just in the interest of doing something different, let's head on down. We have some food here. I think we can put some stuff away. We'll put away this cursed food, the scroll of amnesia, our potions of water, maybe put away the full healing as well. And the rest we could probably hang on to. The other thing about the mines is there's going to be a lot of gems there. Did I make a note? I guess I can look at what's the command for the overview for the dungeon. Let's take a quick look here. Overview. Oop. So level 3. So it is just up 1 level. Yes, we're likely to find some gems, which we could potentially sell and turn into protection. Actually, speaking of protection, we might want to bring the gold with us. We don't have enough even for 1 level of protection, but there's some chance we'll be able to accumulate that much. Of course, there's, the leprechaun problem, but no bag. So even the very first mines level is dark, unfortunately. So you just have to kind of pick your way around. Do a little extra searching here. I think, we're not too worried about. The worst is probably a magic trap. A gray stone. All right, so let's pick up the dagger and we'll kick this. Okay, so it's not a lodestone. It's not a touchstone because you already identified that. So I'm just going to go straight to the general store here and price ID it. All right, take off magic resistance. We'll put on the mummy wrapping. Drop the pickaxe. We'll drop this gray stone. 1 gold, so we'll call it a flint stone. And we'll sell it. We don't really need that. All right, so let's take off our mummy wrapping, wear magic resistance, and go back down into the dungeon. The mines, rather. That would have been too easy to find a luck stone as a random drop. I've definitely gotten lucky like that before, but did 3 things just appear all at once, or I guess they were in the dark? Don't even have infravision. So we're just getting attacked from afar. Just keep an eye on my hit points. Make sure we're not taking too much damage from these attacks of opportunity these gnomes are taking. I could pick up some of this. A silver saber. I don't think we can't even get saber skill as a monk unless we somehow got gifted Gray Swan Deer, but that is, as a neutral character, pretty much impossible. So normally a silver saber would be a good thing to have if you're a character that, say, 2 weapons. But in our case, I think it's pretty much worthless. Yeah, like any kind of light source would just make this so much easier. Another scroll of identify. Sometimes you'll find a lamp in the mines itself. I don't know if it has a higher chance of spawning in the mines or if that's just confirmation bias on my part. Yeah, take my time, pick my way through here. What's this? That a raven? Yeah. Okay. This dwarf is just going around picking up everything I left behind. I don't even think there are, the most dangerous types of traps on the earlier mine levels anyway. They usually get a lot nastier when you get past Mine Town. And we're automatically searching, so. think double searching is probably a little too paranoid for this particular area. I'm going to just dive straight down. Fortunately, the second level in the mines is lit, which is a big help. There's an unidentified scroll and a pair of low boots. We don't really care about that. I think we like jumping better. Pickaxe. Gold. Potion of gain level. That's nice. I think we would like either a level or a cursed one to use as an escape item later on. Really wish we had a bag to protect these potions and scrolls in our inventory. I don't know how frequently fire traps are created in the mines, but they definitely destroy a lot of our stuff right now. A large box. Take a look. Another food ration. And gnomes are not... Oh, okay. Just stepping into traps that we've found. There's another greystone, unidentified, so we'll kick it. And so... Okay, so that's a lodestone. And, oh, okay. Here's what happened. So normally you identify a lodestone by kicking it. But we have Gauntlets of Power. So when you kick it, normally it doesn't move. And you identify it pretty easily that way. But we're in Gauntlets of Power, we're strong enough that we kick it, it moves anyway. So sadly, we're now burdened. And we'll need to have Scroll of Remove Curse, or maybe pray to our god to get rid of it. We actually want the tribration. We left our cat, I think, on level 5 or something, so next time we see it, we'll need to feed it. Yeah. Gauntlets of Power doing bad things. If only we were weaker. It is nice being able to throw Mjolnir, though. I don't know if we can jump anymore. Is that just a barrow white while we're burdened? A single candle, and that is a light source. And I'm somehow missed the downstairs. I feel like let's terrain. Oh, it was right next to the other stair, just underneath that pile of stuff. So we'll continue, I think we'll continue down to the altar below. right. What was this? This is a anti-magic field. Okay. And we're in Minetown, so at least we didn't have further to go. See what we find here. If you were lucky to get any kind of shops. It's interesting that the guards in Minetown get really mad if you kick open a door or dip things into their fountains, but they don't care if you're murdering the gnomes that live there. Oh, we have spell books. A bookstore. It's actually kind of nice. I wonder if we identify them first. Just take a look around first. So here's the actually a hardware store. There's a brass lantern. That's a reliable source of light. A whistle. It's probably a magic whistle. I probably will buy that. Towel we already have. A gnomish wizard. Your brain is on fire. Forbidding feeling. So this is a chaotic altar. We cannot sacrifice here. We can ID stuff though. All right, so it's all uncursed. We're actually not far off from being unburdened. Even with the lodestone. We're guaranteed a lighting star. We haven't seen that yet. And we get a general store, which is nice. It's a ring, a potion, a scroll. There's another pair of jumping boots. There's our lighting store. There's another brass lantern. No oil lanterns, so no chance of getting a magic lantern, unfortunately. Oh, you see we get hit by a wand of striking by this gnome. But we have magic resistance, so it doesn't hurt us. We can kill this jelly from afar. Molnir is corrosion proof. And I'll fire some darts at it as well. I don't think spotted jellies do anything for us in terms of intrinsics. Nothing conveyed. So we fully explored this. I think we just go into the shops now. So there's a mimic in there too. A little unlucky. No bag in the hardware store. Hopefully it's not a giant mimic. No, just a small one. So what is this? 533 gold for a ring. What could that be? We have 8 charisma. So that could be conflict, teleport control, polymorph, or polymorph control. So conflict would be amazing. Obviously. I think we do want to identify it. I'll probably come back and use this identify scroll on it, but let's just see what else is in the other shops that we might want to identify. Crude spear we don't care about. And a scroll of scare monster, but we don't know if it's cursed or what. We might pick it up, it might just disappear. Maybe just worth risking it. We can pay the gold if necessary. And it's really good to have. I think about these 7 candles, and we want the brass lantern too. Let's see if they're cursed. Nothing's cursed. I don't have a good working knowledge of what is always generated uncursed. I believe tools might be, but I don't know if that applies for shops as well. Okay, a lockpick we don't need. Okay, it's a mundane whistle. Key we have. Brass lantern. Let's buy that too. Just more light. And we can sell some things maybe. Like, do we want 2 wands of striking? Probably not. This extra candle we don't need. Okay. And bookstore. So this is the other place we would like to actually use our identify scroll. So like we are interested in getting a scroll of magic, or book of magic missile. I don't know if books are in the oracle yet. A wand of magic missile is in there. I don't think spell books are in there quite yet. It's like a 400 gold spell book. Buying. That could be identify. So like that's one thing you could. I mean, remove curse would be good. Clairvoyance. $133. This can be a lower level spell. I don't think there's anything I can see here we really need, except maybe for training up higher level spells like Force Bolt for training attack spells, for instance. And paperback book 533 should be like a super high level spell. Yes, that's like Charm Monster. I think we talked about that being a good one. Extra healing would be good. Remove curse again. Identify, possibly. So the 133s are less interesting than the more expensive ones. We don't really want to spend that much. Shocking Spear, we don't have shock resistance, so let's actually... Can we jump? No, we're burdened, we can't jump. It won't kill us. I think it's just going to blast us. Yes, we took less than 20 points of damage. Not the end of the world. I think the ring is maybe what we want to identify first. And maybe we come back and identify those more expensive. And let's pick up the Scare Monster. We'll see if it gets destroyed. No. All right, so we will read our Identify scroll. See what this ring is. Polymorph. I don't think we're going to play around with polymorphing ourselves this game. So, not something we want. We'll definitely pay for this Scroll of Scare Monster, which we're just not going to drop anywhere until we absolutely need it. So I think that's it in Mine Town. So the question now is, how are we going to remove this curse? I think we do it by the lodestone, rather. I think we do it by praying on our altar. We just adjust one of these two lamps to, actually, yeah. Lantern to L. So we have a light source. We just finish exploring this level. Now we have a light source. Can of grease. That's actually a nice find. And just walking into a pit. We can apply our touchstone on this green gem, and it's a jade stone. So we can sell, I mean, we could sell these gems at the general store. Just to make enough gold to buy a point of protection or two. I selfishly thinking later down the road, I usually like to have gems more than gold because they are worth more points. But at this point in the game, I think it's much more important to have some survivability. And why is our AC 7? Oh. Why are we not? Oh, okay. So we're not wearing our magic resistance cloak. Should be better than 7 though, right? I guess the robe was 3 points of AC. So we were at AC 4 and now we're AC 6. I think the difference is that the robe was 3 points of AC and the magic resistance robe is only 1. So our AC like actually dropped down from 4 to 6, which is pretty bad. Another just disadvantage of the magic resistance cloak. Yeah, so protection is actually pretty important. Um, yeah, so I think we will sell some gems and try and collect money toward protection. Oops, wrong way. Oh, do not drop the Scare Monster Scroll. Blessed Scroll of Enchant Weapon. So we can enchant Molnir a little bit more. Up to +3. So I think we put the Scroll Monster Scroll, the Scare Monster Scroll into our chest here, just so we don't lose it by accident. We have another Uncur Scroll of Enchant Weapon. I think we just read that as well. The rest of these will turn into paper probably. So Uncur Scroll, Potion of Gain Level. I think I'm going to stash it for now. We may want to curse it. Monster Detection, Object Detection will probably turn into Holy Water. And the candles and probably the grease can go into the stash for now as well. And maybe we can get unburdened. No, it's still burdened. Well, let's see. We'll read this Enchant Weapon Scroll as well. Up to +4 on Molnir. What else can we get rid of? Some more food. One of these Scrolls of Teleportation. We could get rid of one Brass Lantern, although we might need two. Hard to say. Oh, now we're unencumbered. So I think we're going to take out this other Jetstone that we found to sell. And actually, I'm just going to take out our Potions of Water as well. And this actually, well, we'll drop them on the altar. And do you want to turn some other potions into water? I think there's not enough to waste a charge of our cancellation one, so we'll just pray. All right, so our God did not uncurse the lodestone, so we have to waste a potion of holy water on it. And then we can just get rid of it. Oh, let's call it a lodestone first. All right, so now we're unencumbered. Right. Put away the rest of the holy water. And I think we're good to go back down or up. Stop by the general store here. And we'll sell some things. It's not a lot. That one's pretty good. Still not nearly enough, I think. We need 4,000 gold to buy protection. And then I was going to price ID this scroll as well. So 75. Okay, so that's one of the 4 that we identified before. Or we identified a couple of things there. I think we already know amnesia and create monster. So it's either taming or earth. All right, let's go back down to the mines. Make sure we get our magic resistance on. You have to remember that AC6 is really subpar. So powerful melee creatures are actually pretty dangerous for us. And we cannot cast sleep effectively now. So our ability to deal with them is probably going to be throwing things, jumping away. And here I am attacking with Mjolnir. I already did that before. I attacked with the pickaxe, so the weaponless conduct has already been ruined. I could have brought up a blessed scroll of identify to identify a couple of those spell books, which I probably should have done. But we're going to continue on to hopefully find the Luckstone in Mind's End here, which will probably be where I'll call it for the night. Another lit floor. Which helps. A glass wand. Okay. And another scroll we haven't identified yet. A landmine. Just go ahead and put our towel on. Should probably do this each level. It's a Golden Naga hatchling. So Golden Naga do curse your items, I believe. I'm not sure how often hatchlings do. And maybe magic resistance may prevent that as well. Certainly magic cancellation helps against things like that. There's another scroll of identify. We can use that in the spellbook shop on the way back up. And a golden naga hatchling corpse. Okay. Oh, I killed it. Didn't even know. I'm just going to take it slow, and my automatic searching should find some of the more nasty traps. The worst one that we might run into would be a magic trap. Blind us and surround us by creatures. All right, need to turn our lamp back on. So what is this? A dwarf corpse. Why is there a dwarf corpse here? Surely there's a trap here, no? Guess not. All right, and here is one thing we're worried about. So Leocrata. Yes, they can do a lot of damage. Throw Molnir at it. I think we can probably jump away. We have a wand of cold and a wand of striking and magic missile we can use against it as well. So I think that's what we do. So let's throw Molnir at it. Oh, and we kill it. Okay. And there's another thing. Is it Leprechaun? Lovely. All right, so the Leprechaun reads a scroll of create monster and we're surrounded. Nothing in here looks too bad except for the Wumpus is nasty. Certainly the apes are not great. Is that a gold golem? Yeah, gold golems hit hard. I don't love leaving Molnir here, but sort of wondering if we want to teleport away so we can deal with things one or two at a time. Presumably it will bring us somewhere better than where we're at now. Yeah, it's an Atten mummy too. So we have an Atten mummy, a gold golem, and an ape, all of which hit reasonably hard. So I think, is there a choke point we can get to? Yeah, there's kind of a choke point we can get to down to the left and to the right there. So maybe what we do is we run for that instead, or we jump. That's what we do. So we jump here, and then we back up into this hallway. And put in my towel, just make sure nothing else got summoned that's nasty. Rust monster could rust our gauntlets of power, but is not too concerning. Yeah, I think we're fine. And this looks like a bones floor. Because there's a ghost here. There's a ghost and there's a dwarf king. Okay. Definitely be careful. Bones floor could mean that there is something dangerous here. It could have been that Leocrata, to be honest. Okay, so we're just kind of handle these things one at a time here. Ouch. We're so Shadow Rider asks, do you have bones on? And the answer is that we're playing on alt.org, which is like a online shared server. So bones are always on. And I think we can kill this at mummy. Yeah, we did. So this leprechaun's gonna be really annoying. I feel like we hit it with a dart or two. So hopefully, yeah, no problem. We killed it. We're at the point where we're thinking about potions of healing here. Let's see if this gold golem does more damage to us. 24 hit points. And here's the Wumpus. That's another thing that hits hard. Yeah, 3d6 damage. It's where you really wish you had your sleep spell ready to go. We can actually, it should respect Elbereth. So writing Elbereth and trying to heal up a little bit is another option if we want to save our healing potion. Kind of like that. I'm not sure it's going to work 100% of the time. I mean, it's slow, so it's not like obviously running away. If it attacks us, then we've failed. Yeah, so we failed. Or it doesn't respect it. We're down to 10 hit points. I think you generally just deal with these things from range. I'm just not sure how much distance we can put between us and it. They're slow, so start firing some darts at it. We just drink one of our potions here, just so we're not so close to death. Really wish we had our Mjolnir here. Maybe we zap. Let's see, which is our least useful wand here? Probably cold. All right, so we killed it. And hang out for a minute. There's the rust monster. Oh, it ate our darts. Jerk. We just have to take off our gauntlets of power, and then I think we're all set to beat the rust monster up. I don't think it's going to do any damage to us. Oh, it ran away? It's just invisibility. There's a Zan, which is just annoying. It's doing damage to us. And it damaged our dexterity. I don't know if Unicorn Horn will restore that. I feel like it requires a certain amount of time before your leg feels better. Come on over, Rust Monster. I think we're just not really worried about you. What kind of vortex is this? A fog cloud. There's a purple-red potion. We'll pick that up. Okay, we'll grab all this gold. And I think we rest. And there's our leg, feeling better. Put the towel on. Just to check what's around us. There's a dwarf king with a pickaxe. I mean, that could be a problem. It's likely to get to us pretty soon. Again, we have no missile weapons. We got wands. We do want to heal a little bit. This is just an empty area here. There comes the dwarf. It's a dwarf king, right? Yeah. Yeah, a dwarf king with a pickaxe could do a ridiculous amount of damage to us in a single turn at 6 AC. I think we're using some more charges of our wand here, unfortunately. Zap our wand to cold. And we'll kill it. As a white gem, we haven't identified that yet. A dilithium crystal is actually one of the more valuable gems, so good to know. Lichen corpse we can eat. There's Molnir again. I think we still want to heal up. Just looking around. What else is around here that's going to approach us? Just a gecko. Yeah, so nothing really. So we can just wait for a minute here and heal up. Okay. Definitely in better shape now. I probably could have turned off my lamp there. I believe it's a peaceful ape. I wish we had more thrown weapons besides just Molnir. I think it's fairly likely to kill the leprechaun, but definitely not guaranteed. Oop. It's not what I want to wield. All right, we killed it. Still not close to being able to buy protection. I'm beginning to think that we'll see how the next level goes. But I'm a little concerned that this difficulty spike at our current AC might be too dangerous. We do want to see what equipment was left in this bones file. Maybe we wield Molnir here. Yeah. It's a way to kill the... Yeah, killed by a Leocrata, so, you know, that's what we thought. So Excalibur is interesting. More Gauntlets of Power. Another Cloak of Magic Resistance. This looked like a fairly promising run that was ended by a Leocrata. Another glass wand, whatever that is. Apples and carrots, so this was a knight. And those are actually, you know, reasonable sources of food for us as well. A few rings, we'll see what they they kept for rings. Gloves we have. Do we need an extra cloak of magic resistance just in case? I don't think so. I mean, it could get burnt, but eventually, if we're going to wear it long term, we're probably not going to wear it long term, but we could always make it fireproof. A bag is amazing, even if it's just a normal bag. The lamp is probably just an oil lamp, but we can test that by price IDing it. We don't need a lockpick. We don't need a pickaxe. Oh, we can't even pick it up? It didn't really do that much damage. I thought you were blasted by artifact weapons when you tried to wield them. But it looks like even just picking them up will blast you. Is there anything in the bag? Bunch of stuff in the bag. So there's an elvish cloak, dwarvish mithril coat, some scrolls, and some potions. The coins are nice. Both blast you. Yeah. I don't know if this is a cursed bag yet, so I'm not going to try and put anything in it yet. That's a mimic. I think this is a small mimic. I'm probably going to go back to Mine Town at this point to ID things that I have found. Because I would love to begin to use that bag, even if it's just a normal sack. It would be amazing to have it. But I believe cursed sacks will sometimes lose things. I know that works. That's how it works with bags of holding. I'm not sure about sacks, but and sacks are not, like other tools would not be generated cursed, but in this case, because it's a bones file, I believe they can be cursed. So let's finish exploring this level, and then we'll head back to Mine Town to almost no different. What is the difference? Doesn't lose items. That's good. We don't know if it's holding yet, though. So we do want to make sure. We'll price ID it. And jelly. We've got cold resistance already. All right, let's go to the altar. We also have enough gold now to buy protection, which I think we'll definitely do. All right, let's see what's cursed here. Bunch of stuff is cursed. The bag is not cursed. And it's a blessed lamp. Which is actually interesting. I mean, it could have been, like, why would it be blessed? Like, could it be a magic lamp is the only thing I'm thinking. Let's pull everything out of this bag for a minute. So we can also identify those things. Cannot accommodate any more items. I think we're selling a lot of this anyway. Let's go to buy the general store and just sell some of this stuff. Okay, well, there's a gray ooze. I'm trying to think if gray ooze gives us any of those resistances that we need. Potentially fire. And is it vegetarian? I think it might be vegetarian. Yeah, it's vegetarian. So just have to take off our columns of power for a second. No ooze anyway. Put away our pickaxe. And let's sell some stuff. We could sell Excalibur. I mean, the only thing it's really good for is, I think it is actually good for points at the end of the game. I sort of feel like getting rid of it though. I'm gonna sell the Elvish Cloak. We wanted to sell the extra mummy wrapping and the Dwarvish Mithril coat. Yeah, that should do it. Let's see, take other stuff out of the bag here. Oh. It's gonna get mad at me enough to attack me. I'm gonna drop it here. Oop. Just in case. I wanted to drop the bag though. So it's 50 gold. So that means it's either oil skin or butt bag of holding, which is great. And we can actually positively identify it. It's empty. So we can actually dip. Oh wait, no, we don't want to dip in this fountain, because if it, we can actually get in trouble for that. But if we dip it in a different fountain, we can tell if it's oil skin or not. I mean, the other way is if we're burdened and we put stuff in there and get unburdened, that would be a telltale sign. This is probably how we identify it. Can you... My pickaxe is no longer P. Can you buy this dilithium crystal for full price? No. All right, we can buy 1 level of protection, so let's go do that. Hopefully get 2 AC out of it. So let's put away everything but 4,000 gold. So we put away 1,013. That leaves us with exactly 4,000. We're going to chat with the priestess, and we'll offer 4,000. And we got 3 points of protection, looks like. So that's a great start. Getting down to AC 4, which will actually think be AC 3, is very nice. like for instance, if we go in here and pick up some spell books, I can't comment anymore. Let's put away some stuff. Really want to get. I want to get burdened here. If we take off our, let's take off our Gauntlets of Power. Still not burdened. I thought these spellbooks would burden us, but it's harder than I thought it would be. Even carrying all that stuff, we're not burdened. We'll have to go back to the general store and pick up that armor, I believe, to get burdened. Mains are not terribly dangerous. All right, drop the pickaxe and let's pick up all this stuff. What else is heavy here? We just can't get burdened. We'll have to go back to our stash to do this, I think. We're not too far away. Warg has actually dealt a lot of damage to us in a couple turns there. Try and sell our dilithium crystal at the other shop as well. So we'll do all this before we push down to Mine's End. Drop that. Can you buy a dilithium crystal? Nope. Sadly, they're worth quite a bit. Anything else I wanted to do in the shop? Yeah, let's price ID these scrolls. So 75. Okay, so this is the, again, either Taming or Earth. And 38. Actually, quite a bit. That could be quite a bit of things. That's 100. So what have we identified already? Destroy armor, scare monster, teleportation, confuse monster. So it's mapping, fire, or food detection. I think that's it. Anything else? Some potions. 56 for a potion. Okay, that'd be, we've already identified blindness and invisibility. I think it's got to be gain energy. I think we've identified everything else. Object detection we know. Invisibility we know. Because we don't know monster detection, or do we know gain energy? We know monster detection, so it is blindness or gain energy, I think. Let's go blind, question mark, and let's dip. All right, so it's not blindness. It's got to be gain energy. We can actually just quaff that to positively identify it. All right, next one, purple red for 38. Okay. There's a bunch of things that could be. Restorability. Could be confusion. What else? We know hallucination. We know healing. We know extra healing. Restorability, confusion, or we know sleeping. So it's just restorability or confusion. Okay. And we've got 2 scrolls of identify we could also bless. So really we can just try and get all these things identified at our stash. Are we carrying something that we need to pay for? What's going on here? All right, take off the mummy wrapping, wear the cloak of magic resistance again. Back to AC4. Definitely better. And all right. Let's take out some scrolls of identify here. Anything else we need to identify? Some wands, we could identify how many charges they have. I think cancellation's the only one we really care about with regards to that. And the grease. It'd be nice to know how many charges are in the grease. All right, so we read the identify scroll and we get lucky. So we get Wand of Enlightenment. Nice to know. Bag of Holding. Kind of we're guessing, but it's nice to be confirmed. Restorability. Okay, that was Scroll of Earth. Cursed Ring of Stealth. Don't need that. We have innate stealth. Free action is extremely useful. Definitely want to uncurse that. Sustainability. I don't think we need that. Taming Oil Lamp. Wand of Digging is useful. Scroll of Fire. We only have 2 charges left in the cancellation wand. 11 charges in the grease. All right, so that's pretty good. Just an oil lamp, though. All right, so we put a bunch of stuff away into our bag of holding. We want to bless it for sure. And let's put stuff away in our stash too. So what scrolls and potions do we want to put away here? Booze. Confuse monster, create monster. We might hang on to one Earth, Scroll of Earth, for, as an escape spell. Fire we don't need. Identify we can put away for now. Actually, there's spell books we might want to identify. We have lots of strength and we have a bag of holding, so I think we can hang on to those and just put them in our bag. Light we can stash. Taming's kind of interesting to hang on to. And so is teleportation. We'll stash booze. We'll stash gain energy, restorability, and see invisible. Put away some things into our bag. So the Scroll of Earth, the Identify Scrolls. Taming. Keep one Scroll of Teleportation out just for an escape spell. Put away maybe a couple healing potions. I put the grease away. And the crystal. I'm going to zap a Wand of Enlightenment here. Just double check that we are correct in what we have over here. So I guess I can actually check off magic resistance as long as I remember to wear my cloak for now. We have cold and sleep resistance. Poison. We're invisible. We're telepathic. We have warning. We have searching. We're stealthy. We can jump. Slow digestion. Small defense bonus. Warded. I think that's the magic cancellation. We are fast, very lucky, and can safely pray. Okay, nothing really interesting there. Hang on to like a carrot, I guess. Putting away stealth and sustainability. Enlightenment you can put away as well. Our lantern is lit. That's a waste. Well, actually, I wonder if Excalibur. Oh, sorry, I missed a message. Excalibur gives drain resistance, but not really that important. Yeah. I love Excalibur. That's how we ascended our Valkyrie. And I never used to give it much credit, but it was really good for us in our last Ascension run. But we're not going to be wielding a longsword in this run. I think, yeah, I maybe like, we can get up to basic level in longsword actually. So there's some part of me that thinks, maybe we would wield, a good artifact longsword just for, the late game. I would like to try and use, Grandmaster martial arts though. All right, so we're just stashing some stuff. And so I sort of feel like we just wear the free action ring, which means we want to uncurse it. But what do we have for holy water? We've got 3 left. we want to bless our bag of holding too. Oh, and my thought there was before I stopped in mid thought is whether in Bones files things like magic lamps turn into oil lamps. I feel like maybe they do, in which case like maybe that explains why there's a blessed oil lamp in a Bones file. So what can we blink here with our cancellation wand? So see invisible turns into fruit juice, so that's not useful to blank. We could do restorability, object detection. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Gain of energy is 5. Probably want to hang on to booze just for like a source of confusion. We could get, 5. Monster detection, gain energy. Yeah, so we can blank 5 and so restore our supply of holy water here. So we're going to use, I think, at least 2. Cancellations in our inventory, I guess, yeah. Dropping potions. Like regular healing potions may actually be, we may be at the point where we don't need them. But yeah, we're still a little squishy, so I'm going to hang on to it. And should we blank scrolls too? We have so many unlabeled scrolls already. We can carry the Scare Monster scroll around now. We can put it into our bag of holding to keep it safely. I guess you blank these scrolls because they're useless otherwise, even if we never end up with enough magic marker charges to use them. It'd be great to turn them into a stack of like magic mapping scrolls for Gehenna, for instance. We're gonna take that other teleportation scroll too, just to have that in our bag of holding. Dropping some scrolls too. So amnesia, confuse monster, create monster, fire, light. Okay, and we're zapping all that. And we could pray. I think we can safely pray. That saves us a potion, so I think we probably do that instead of... Oh, and my lantern's getting dim. Particular object in your inventory. We'll just call it empty. And all right, so now we have a bunch of holy water. So we're dipping the bag of holding for sure. And I think we're dipping the Ring of Free Action too, just so we're not wearing a cursed one. I'm going to put it on. We're going to wear Free Action and Slow Digestion for a while here. That plus Conflict would be relay the 3 rings that, and levitation be the 4 rings we need till the end of the game. So definitely made some progress here. Magic resistance is amazing. Put the wand into my stash before I blow up my bag of holding with it. And free action 2. And a bag of holding. So if we find an Amulet of Reflection at the end of Sokoban, we'll be very happy. So we'll probably go to the end, Mind's End, get the Luck Stone, and then to Sokoban after that. I think we're still pretty susceptible to certain things, like a Wand of Fire, Wand of Lightning would be bad. And just plain powerful melee attacks as well. We actually have AC 3 with our Gauntlets of Power, so that's good. I mean, better. Still not good. So I can definitely see us being in some amount of trouble in Sokoban. How many different spears do we have, and do any of them stack? Three runed spears stack. So really not that much. Kind of need more thrown weapons to augment Mjolnir. Got a stack of 22 darts here we could probably use. Or, yeah. Like, even if we have no skill in it, it's better than nothing. Or the daggers. We take a stack of 7 daggers. They're reusable. So we can quiver those up. All right, so I'm going to stop here. It's getting pretty late here, and you never want to be playing Nethack too late. You're apt to make mistakes. But yeah, definitely some progress. Hopefully next time we'll finish going to Mind's End, get that Luck Stone, and then probably Sokoban at that point, even without all the resistances. I'm tempted to try and get the fire and shock resistance before we, but that's mostly just PTSD from the last 2 times I died at the end of Sokoban. So we'll see. I may be, tempted to just get those resistances before we continue. I think we're well on the way here. I mean, certainly not 100%, but with reflection, we're going to be in pretty good shape. So thank you for if you're hanging in there, if you're still watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time.